All right, so we see the stat line for Caitlin Clark. She's averaging 21.6 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, a steal, and then if we go down, she's averaging a block as well. 5 turnovers right now, 43% from the field, 36 from the three. What shooting that is. And then she's doing 72 from the free throw. Definitely want her to get that up. But we see the stats, right? We see the stats. Now, if we go to ESPN, Caitlin Clark is nowhere to be found. Caitlin Clark is nowhere to be found.
Where's Caitlin Clark? She's been lighting it up as a rookie, breaking records and making headlines. But if you check the official WNBA leaderboards, it's like she's vanished. No points. No assists. Nothing. Just radio silence.is the league using invisible ink? Or are they just refusing to give her the credit she's clearly earned? How do you accidentally leave out your biggest star? Spoiler alert, you don't. So, let's take a closer look at this strange and frankly funny situation, where it seems like the WNBA is trying to pretend Caitlin Clark's stats don't exist, like she's an ex they'd rather forget.
And Reese remain 2 of the most popular players in the WNBA. However, it's Clark who holds the edge when it comes to viewership and attendance rating. When you say hold the edge, that makes it seem like it's a small margin. No. It's a severe lead. It is a significant gap between the two when it comes to viewership and attendance. Edge, not the best choice of words in this instant. Yet the Women's National Basketball Players Association, the union for current women's professional basketball players in the WNBA, recently decided against Clark. Shocker.
And just when you thought the WNBA's leaderboard blunder couldn't get any more bizarre, here comes ESPN with a shovel, basically helping to bury Caitlin Clark's stats like they're some kind of classified secret. You'd expect the world's biggest sports network to be able to handle a few basic numbers. Maybe even shine a spotlight on the fact that the most talked about rookie in years is, oh I don't know, dominating, but instead, it's like they've flipped the switch, turned off the lights, and are pretending no one's home, while Caitlin's out there knocking on the door of greatness. Honestly, she should be right up there in the rankings, no question about it.
I think she would be right in this area, number 2. And I get it, these players have played more games, cool, but fam, if that is the case, why is Caitlin Clark right here at 3 points made? Why is she right here at 3 points made? If that is the case, she would be completely off of the list, right? She would be gone, wiped off, if it was all about the games. Why is she right here? Right? This looks disingenuous, man. I'm just keeping it a grand. We know who has the most assists right now. You have Paige Beckers up here. We know who has more assists, who's averaging the most assists right now. And you have Paige Beckers right here. Come on, fam. Like, I'm just saying, man, this don't look disingenuous.
If you start clicking around ESPN's website, it starts to feel like a game of hide and seek. Only in this version, Caitlin Clark's stats are the ones hiding, and ESPN's acting like they've forgotten how to count. Want to check out the league leaders in assists or scoring efficiency? Good luck. Caitlin's name is nowhere in sight, but wait, there's one place she does show up: turnovers. Yep, suddenly she appears like magic, but only in the oops category. It's almost like ESPN is saying, oh, you're looking for Clark? She's over there, with the troublemakers.
To God, that eventually we find out that maybe Caitlin Clark was asked to do this, and maybe she said no, because if that's not the case, then the WNBA and the Players Association, the WNBA PA, and the league, to be honest, continue to disrespect the far and away biggest draw that this women's hoops league's got that they've ever seen.
It's like her stats have been sent to the penalty box. Never mind that Caitlin Clark is out here setting records, turning a struggling team around, and making defenders look like kids trying to keep up. According to ESPN's math team, the only number that seems to matter is how many times she's turned the ball over, not how many assists she racks up. Not the deep threes she sinks from what feels like another zip code. Just turnovers. That's it.
Jealousy and sheer incompetence are going to be the 3 main reasons why the WNBA never reaches the popularity, never reaches the shine that they think they deserve. Stubbornness, incompetence, in jealousy are going to be the reasons why Caitlin Clark remains at the mountaintop and nobody else ends up even being close to joining her up there. And it's all the WNBA, the players, the executives, Kathy Engelbert. It is all their fault. They're far too jealous. They're far too stubborn. And from a business sense, they are all far too incompetent. What am I talking about?
And yet, that's the stat she gets the spotlight for? The nerve. It's like someone at ESPN opened up a spreadsheet, typed in Caitlin Clark, got overwhelmed, and just hit delete. What's wild is that they've got flashy graphics ready anytime an NFL player sneezes near the end zone. But Caitlin? She's out here stacking double-doubles, packing arenas, and basically carrying WNBA ratings on her back, and they quietly push her to the sidelines like she wandered into the wrong show. It's not like the data isn't there. It is, but to actually find it, you'd have to dig through menus, cross-reference stats, maybe solve a riddle or perform a ritual. Meanwhile, in the places people actually look, Caitlin might as well be a hologram, and here's the kicker. Players with a fraction of her impact and a sliver of her fan base are featured front and center like royalty. This isn't just forgetting. It's selective memory hiding behind filters and dashboards. You almost have to laugh. It's that obvious. ESPN has every tool in the world, live stat trackers, AI-powered breakdowns, split-screen analysis, but when it comes to Caitlin Clark, suddenly her numbers are lost in the system. A dusty filing cabinet run by trolls. Even the intern posting box scores seems to be in on it, like they all caught the same "let's pretend she's not real" virus.
Come on, man. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense right here, man. Angel Reese still top dogging in rebounds. And even with Jonquel missed games. She missed some games. And she's still on the list. What's going on? What's going on with this, man? Let me see, who else? Boston doing a good job. She's in the top 5. Oh, tied number 4. Okay, I see you. Boston doing a good job. Steals. We got Gabby Williams. Gabby's been going crazy. And the feed, Asia. And then they got Paige Beckers on there. Fam, hold on, let me see. I'm going to click complete leaders. Let me see if they don't have Caitlin anywhere, fam.
Here's the real kicker. Caitlin Clark's stats do show up. Just not where you'd expect. If you're curious, or stubborn enough, to dig through the turnovers tab, there she is. Apparently, that's the one category ESPN thinks she deserves. It's like throwing a talent show and assigning Beyoncé to mop the floors because someone didn't like how she sparkled. Sure, they'll drop her name when it fits the story. But when it's time to line her up next to the league's best, suddenly it's crickets. Fumbling with filters. Acting confused. At this point, it doesn't feel like a mistake, it feels like a team effort to make her disappear. A whole crew of stat magicians pulling off a vanishing act. Oh no, we forgot her again. How many times can you say that before it stops sounding like an accident, and starts looking like a plan? And let's talk about those turnovers for a second. If that's the only stat ESPN is highlighting, it sure feels like they've been waiting to pounce. Like someone's just itching to say, see? This is why she doesn't belong. But here's the thing, every rookie turns the ball over. It's part of growing in the game. That's what learning curves are for. Yet with Caitlin, they act like she's out there throwing the ball into the stands between deep threes. Like she's chaos in sneakers, which, let's be honest, is nonsense.
Dave, the exact abuse that they're giving Caitlin Clark right now to Sabrina Ionescu. Like, let's be real, you can look. If you read what some of these things have said about Sabrina Ionescu before Caitlin Clark walked in the league, but now they have the new bully victim. And it's so funny looking at it where you're like, all these, it's so clear that these people, it's just an anti-Caitlin people, because it's like an enemy of my enemy is my friend, where it's like they are these individual pages where you look at the players they hype up, and Paige Beckers, and by the way, by all accounts, Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark are friends. They'll have their profile's Angel Reese, and the players are going to hype up as Paige Beckers because she is a rival to Caitlin Clark. And let's be real, that's an actual rivalry. Paige Beckers is really damn good.
Here's what they don't talk about. Caitlin Clark is running the offense like a veteran, while being double-teamed, shoved around, and practically tackled every night. They don't mention that she's leading a team that barely knew how to win before she showed up. They skip the full story. No context. No mention of the pressure she carries, the way she sets up her teammates, or the massive expectations she shoulders every game. All they show is the turnover stat, like that's her whole resume. Let's be honest, if turnovers are your big headline, you're not analyzing. You're campaigning. That's not journalism. It's throwing shade, wrapped in a spreadsheet. Meanwhile, players with worse shooting percentages, fewer assists, and lower scoring somehow keep showing up at the top of ESPN's charts, like cream rising in a coffee machine someone rigged. They're being applauded for effort. Caitlyn? She's out here dropping 25 a night and being made to feel like it didn't happen. She's outperforming veterans twice her age and getting treated like she crashed a party she was invited to headline, and still, she shows up, still finds her teammates, still hits those deep logo shots that would make Steph Curry raise an eyebrow. She's not just playing. She's reshaping the league's future, and ESPN? They're over here playing peekaboo with her stats, like the truth might bite if they say it out loud. Here's a simple idea. If your highest-rated games all feature one player, maybe, just maybe, acknowledge that she exists outside of the oops column, and this isn't just an ESPN issue. When the biggest sports network plays it down, everyone else follows. Talk shows start pretending they don't get the hype. Analysts brush off her impact. And somehow, we end up in this weird parallel universe where Caitlin Clark is the most talked about athlete in the country, but not good enough to show up in the rankings.
We need to sit here and be honest. No casual fan knows who any of these players are except for maybe Angel Reese. That is pure honesty. No casual fan knows who any of these players are except for Angel Reese. WNBA old guard fans, they know who these ladies are. People who follow the league, they know who these players are. People who are responsible for the increase in viewership, who are responsible for the increase in attendance, they don't know who any of these players are except for Angel Reese and potentially Cameron Brink. Let's be honest here. Except for Angel Reese and potentially Cameron Brink. Paige Beckers, stop. Kelsey Plum, stop. Nafisa Collier, cut it out. Nafisa Collier, great player.
This is one of the funniest contradictions in sports media today. Imagine if LeBron James' rookie season was treated this way, left off the leaderboard just because of a few turnovers. Or think about Steph Curry. Sure, he made 9 3-pointers, but did you catch that one time he dribbled the ball off his foot? Lazy, right? No, this isn't honest analysis. It's a clear, exaggerated bias disguised as coverage. Let's be real, if Caitlyn were making turnovers from the bench, nobody would care. But she's doing it all while scoring, assisting, and leading her team out of obscurity. She's working hard, yet all anyone wants to focus on are her mistakes. That's not analysis. That's pushing an agenda, wrapped up in high heels. While ESPN tries to downplay her impact, fans aren't fooled. They see what's happening. They're buying tickets and tuning in to watch her. Caitlyn isn't just another player, she's a force to be reckoned with. Yet ESPN acts like she's nothing more than a side note in someone else's highlight reel. The worst part? Even if she was having a bad game, ESPN would still talk about her, just to put her down. She's stuck in a strange media spot, too good to ignore, but too powerful to praise. So instead, they zoom in on the one stat that makes her look weak: turnovers. That's supposed to be her story. Forget the points, assists, steals, and game-changing moments. Let's just highlight the few mistakes. Brilliant, right? And don't pretend this is about fairness. It's about control over the story, the spotlight, and who gets to be the face of the league. ESPN didn't accidentally leave her stats out. They buried them under the worst category and called it balance.
It's one of the craziest stats I've seen yet. And I feel like we say this all the time. Like, wow, this is one of the craziest Caitlin Clark related stats that I've seen. Evergreen. She has played 42 games. She now has the most 25-point, 10-assist games in WNBA history. 42 games, most 25 and 10 games in WNBA history. She is tied for the most 20 and 10 games in WNBA history. Courtney Vandersloot has 10. Diana Taurasi had 9. Really? Sloot has played 430 games. Taurasi played 565 games. Again, Caitlin Clark has played 42 games. That is unbelievable.
If ESPN is trying to hide Caitlin Clark's stats, the truth isn't going anywhere. It's everywhere, all over social media, showing up in the ratings, and shining in every sold-out arena she plays in. No amount of digital dodging or messing with the leaderboards can change one fact: she's outplaying half the league and carrying a spotlight way bigger than ESPN's homepage. Let them play their games with the numbers. Let them act like turnovers tell the whole story. Because the real story is happening, whether they admit it or not. Caitlin Clark is rewriting the playbook, one overlooked stat at a time, and honestly, it's pretty shady, like cartoon villain level shady. Here's the kicker: after ESPN decided Caitlyn's stats deserved to be benched, I checked the assist leaderboard myself. Just to see if reality was still intact, and what did I find? Nothing. No Clark. No C. Not even a clerk. I went through that list 3 times, like a Where's Waldo book, and still no sign of her. Meanwhile, Caitlyn's out there throwing pinpoint assists through traffic like she's got GPS built right into her eyes. She's dropping dimes like she's running the Federal Reserve, and ESPN's assist stats act like she doesn't even exist. No highlights, no mentions, no recognition. It's like they're trying to convince everyone that she's not really that good. But we all know better.
All right. So we've talked WNBA, we've talked Angel Reese, we've talked all the things that are going on. There's been this back and forth from all the WNBA players that the league is not just Caitlin Clark. Stop acting like the league is not just Caitlin Clark. There are other people who are doing things. So Caitlin Clark has been injured, so she hasn't been playing. Since Caitlin Clark went down, the WNBA ratings have dropped over 55%.
Yikes.
Across the board.
Hey, guess what, guys?
The league is Caitlin Clark.
The league is Caitlin Clark.